begins with a single step. It's that moment when you decide to stand up for something you believe in.
I just deeply know that everyone comes into this life with a purpose and a gift to give and lessons to learn. And this was just my assignment. I mean, a focus of mine has been threefold. One is to see a Universal Day of Peace established. The second is that this idea of pathways to peace be more prevalent within humanity. And third, that a field of peace building would be established. We were needing to establish a field of peace building that involved what ordinary human beings are doing on a day-to-day basis, but there's nothing to call that field. Because if we are parenting in a way that is creating the best that a child can possibly bring into the world, their gifts, if whatever we are doing, whatever pathway to peace we happen to be on, we are contributing to building a culture of peace, and we ourselves are peace builders. And I said, what would you think if we all worked together with your particular ministries and with your nations, that we might create a Universal Day of Peace that could be adopted by a UN resolution? So that began in 1961, and 20 years later, a resolution was passed.
On October 13th, 2021, the world lost one of the most powerful people. Avon Madison, president of Pathways to Peace. She had accomplished much within the United Nations and outside of it. Avon taught me so much about life and career paths just by being the best version of herself always. She was a guiding force for good. And I and many other young people all over the world have lost a mentor, a colleague, a friend, and to some even a mother figure. Her warmth, wisdom, and strength will live on through each of the lives that she encountered and poured into. And Avon gave the best of her leadership and experience, and her legacy as a peacemaker will remain a true inspiration to us all. She flew the flag of peace, of love, of light, and intergenerational collaboration. Avon Madison will be deeply missed now and forevermore.
On behalf of the Stone Soup Leadership Institute, we would like to congratulate Shreya for her tireless work on behalf of the people of Nepal. Thank you to all those who have contributed to the Institute's Young Heroes Fund, which enables us to provide financial support to scale youth-led climate change and sustainability projects. Now more than ever, it's important that we work together to ensure that the voices of young people are heard. We would like to wish Shreya the best of luck and support on her journey at COP26, where she would meet with world leaders in Scotland. Thank you.
Namaste. My name is Shreya Kesi, a youth climate justice activist from Nepal. I'm very much delighted to be a recipient of the Young Heroes Fund Award, as it will support me to participate fully in the COP26, the most anticipated climate change conference. We young people from the least developing countries have the knowledge and passion to drive climate action, but in the run-up to COP26, what we need is collaboration and funding. As a crucial stakeholder, we are doing what we can do best, and as a Nepali youth representative in COP26, I will be speaking the harsh reality that we are facing due to the impacts of climate crisis. It's post-monsoon time in Nepal, yet millions of people have been impacted severely by the unexpected heavy rainfall, floods and landslide. Millions will not be able to return to their life as usual, and it has caused severe mental health problems. COP26 must deliver giant progress in loss and damage, which I will be raising throughout the conference, as there are costs that no amount of adaptation and resilience can negate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me this award. I'm very much honored to get this award because I recognize the gravity of this, and thank you everyone for supporting me to participate fully in the COP26 conference. Yes, as I said in the video, like there are lots of loss and damage problems that we are facing in Nepal. Like for example, like I gave one example in the video, and another one is like there is a river called Melamchi, which is very close to where I live, and just a month ago it saw a massive flash flood and it killed 25 people, swept away the houses that I saw and that I used to go. And it also collapsed the National Pride project, which was on construction since the last 20 years. And this year, like it was to be implemented, it was predicted to serve like 300 million people who live in the Kathmandu Valley. But just after a week of continuous rainfall, it was destroyed in seconds. And like the hopes, and that place is also like the epicenter of the 2015 earthquake. So like the hopes of all those hardworking communities has been dashed. And like these are just the few of the examples. Like there are lots of worse examples that Nepal is going through due to the impacts of climate crisis. There are problems such as like it has impacted the food security, agricultural production, and everything that we depend on. And that I think for me as a Nepali youth representative to COP26, it will be important for me to raise the issues of loss and damage, to have giant progress on it, because there are countries that is blocking the progress on loss and damage. So being a representative of Nepal, I will raise the issues of loss and damage and how it is impacting us in our daily life, and why it is important to make an ambitious commitment on that, because progress on it is a making or breaking point for us. And that is what I will raise and follow throughout the conference in COP26. Thank you.
Hello world, my name is Shreya Kesi. I work as network coordinator at Nepalese Youth for Climate Action (NYCA), based in Lalitpur, Nepal. When it comes to tackling climate crisis, we need everyone to contribute their part, no matter what it is. We need everyone to be brought together at the table, no matter who they are and where they belong from. And that is why I'm challenging you to educate someone about climate crisis, be it in your friends, family, neighbor, and share in the social media with the hashtag #StoneSoupChallenge. And don't forget to tag your friends.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Marianne. I just want to say it's a pleasure to be on this call, meeting, both the young people, especially headed to Scotland, and everyone else who sort of helped make this a reality, this event in particular, and just, Stone Soup and the sort of funding beyond. I remember, it was like 2015 or so, and I sort of came in as a young kid, early high school, not really sure about really a lot of things. I remember that event in particular and meeting Arun Gandhi, Gandhi's grandson. Remember he spoke to all of us, and just a lot of the stuff he said, it really sort of sparked something inside of me of like, there are actually a lot of, big issues going around that expand beyond my immediate community. Being on Martha's Vineyard, such that small community, I sort of realized the importance of collaborating across very different geological locations, and just working with people with such diverse and deep backgrounds, and sort of seeing how by collaborating and working together and doing things such as this, we can actually hopefully continue taking steps forward to make a change in the world about sustainability by just it's really something that we have to do by working together with people from a whole bunch of different areas with different backgrounds that have different sort of issues within their local communities due to climate change, and sort of how can we put those things together and work as basically one big team to make a change. And this summit here, COP, is sort of one of the first places that we can, what should I say, have a big voice with everyone that we're helping send there and everything.
I think, like Chris, I think it's COP26 is really such an opportunity to meet people, like-minded people, and try and make a difference, especially like with the mock summit being such an important part of like what the future generation is going to pay attention to and what we want, and creating those like the demands. And also like getting to be a part of a community that is full of people who are, again, like-minded and trying to make a difference has been so incredible. And like especially getting to come here today to meet Marianne for the first time ever, and to being in a space and being a part of this has been such a great opportunity.
I do apologize if I seem in a rush. I'm actually packing to get to Glasgow. Currently, I'm in London. I was just attending a C40 event. For those who don't know, C40 is 97 cities, mayors from all around the world have convened in London with Mayor Khan to head up to COP together in a train, which is amazing. And C40 has dedicated quite a lot of action. So I was there for the summit today, and I was also, I'm kind of jet lagged at this point because I was just in Rome for G20 as well. So it's quite interesting to be surrounded by Shreya and all these amazing other youth leaders who are doing quite a lot of important work and doing the impact and changing their communities. And so I definitely, it all adds up to global impact. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at COP26 and meeting everyone in person. I just want to add one separate note, given that I know there are many people who brought this this amazing group together, this coalition of youth leaders, as well as the funders who are funding not only myself and other amazing youth leaders. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, because without the funds, we wouldn't have been able to get part of the youth leaders food or even rooms and whatnot. So thank you to everyone who funded this youth fund. So yeah, thank you.
I actually wanted to ask you what your expectations for COP are.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure everyone has seen on the news that that whether or not this COP will be good or bad. I think right now I'm optimistic, and the reason why I have optimism is that young people, all of us are convening, even though despite the disparities in vaccinations and as well as despite of the fact that a lot of global South activists are not able to come down to COP26, which is quite devastating in my view, given that we need global South activists there. But to answer your question, I'm optimistic that a lot of world leaders are going to meet the mark, but if they don't, then we will give them the reckoning that they deserve. I haven't seen what has been happening at COP26, even I feel like this time around, I have seen a lot of the behind the scenes negotiations happening where a lot of the things that countries are bringing onto the table are already done and set. So I don't know why countries are convening at COP when everything is already, pre-planned, and countries are just presenting their plans. So there won't be any negotiations from countries, but there will be countries presenting their plans on what they are going to do for their constituencies. So yeah, I'm optimistic that if, some countries will present bold plans and will execute on them. But I'm also pessimistic in the fact that they might not be bold enough and they might not meet the mark in the sense of the time frame that we have for 5 to 7 years, right? We don't have that much time left. I do apologize. I'm going on and on and on, but there's so many factors I have to count in, from the youth all the way to what I've heard from politicians, as well as behind the scenes from world leaders, and also just my conversations with prime ministers, as well as other world leaders at G20, where a lot of them are saying that their countries have already planned what they're bringing to COP. So, and a lot of them don't have bold plans. And so I think it's up to us as young people to kind of say, you know what, this is our COP. COP26 has a huge focus on young people. Why not use the momentum of young people to bring the change that we want to see within these countries? And so changing the narrative of saying, we young people are going to bring the fire if we don't think that these plans are bold enough, and if the time frame is not bold enough either.
Hello everyone, when I think about our planet's future, I think about the thousands of young people already taking action, implementing solutions within their communities, and making a greater impact. I challenge you to take that first step and implement any solution that you think of. Any idea you have to make a difference is worthwhile. So take that first step and make a difference.
Soy Nikki Becker, soy de Jóvenes por el Clima Argentina y de Fridays for Future Internacional, y te reto a que hables de la crisis climática con personas que tengas cerca y hagan algo al respecto. Unirte con otras personas, unirte al movimiento. Hay muchísimos movimientos, estés donde estés, tengas la edad que tengas, seas quien seas, hay un movimiento cerca en el que te puedes acercar y empezar a participar. Anda a marchas, exigile a la gente que hoy está en la toma de decisiones que decida en base a la evidencia científica, como por ejemplo el último informe del IPCC que salió hace unas semanas, en donde dice que la crisis climática ya llegó. La crisis climática no es una cuestión del futuro. Así que unite, hace algo, habla del tema, compartilo en las redes sociales y unite al movimiento, porque ahí está la esperanza. La esperanza está en ese movimiento que debemos construir. Yeah, we did an strike on Friday that was huge and was like has had a lot of impact. A lot of media went to the strike, and it was very big. And now we are planning a big action tomorrow at the first day of the COP. So a lot of things are happening.
Tell us about. I personally have seen your post about the strike. Why was that important? Where were you? Tell people who weren't there, hon.
Well, we are traveling. First, we went to Sweden, and then we went to London with 20 people from all over the world, but mostly from MAPA. MAPA means most affected peoples and areas. And this is so important because in the last COP, I had the opportunity to went there, and I realized the subrepresentation of young people from the global south and, for example, from my country and from Latin America in general, in this type of international event. And with Friday for Future MAPA, we are working a lot to change that. And I'm happy to see more young people from all over the world, but especially from MAPA in this event, because I think Kevin already said that a little bit, but I think this is so important because we are not just passive victims of the climate crisis, but we are also part of the solution, and they can't decide anything without us.
So tell us some of the highlights. You were in Stockholm with Greta for the strike a week ago, right?
Yeah, last Friday, no, 2 Fridays ago. Yeah, it was huge. No, sorry, tell me.
Were you in London for the strike on Friday?
Yeah. In Sweden, it was huge. It was an international global strike. I didn't understand anything because of the language, the songs and these type of things. But it was an amazing experience. Also, like it was the first time that I was on a strike with my friend from Friday for Future. So it was very, very nice. And the action that we did the last Friday in London, it was in front of Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered is a bank from the UK, but that invests a lot in fossil fuel in the global south. So also one of our main points for this COP is talk about financing. So it was related with that.
So Nikki, we have people that are curious about the youth demands. You know, Shreya talked a little bit about them. We've been posting them all the last week. You want to talk about one that matters to you of the youth demands?
Yeah, as I was saying, I think one of my main demands as a collective, as a movement, is talking about financing, because the countries of the global north that are the most responsible for the climate crisis has an obligation to finance not only the just transition of the global south, but also adaptation. Because the countries of the global south don't have the money to deal with the consequences that our countries are already suffering because of the climate crisis. And it's not only mitigation, because our countries are not the ones that emit the most, but about adaptation, because for us it's not about numbers. We are talking about life and the violation of our basic human rights. And that's why I think that one of the main points, one of my main demands for this COP is to start talking about financing, because world leaders promised 2 years ago to give money from countries from the global south, but they didn't. So yeah.
Wonderful. And so you've been with Mitzi. I know she's is she with you in Glasgow now?
Yeah, we slept together these 2 weeks. Now she's in another place because this place is smaller, but I'm with her, yes.
So tell me about, you never met, have you? You and Mitzi?
No, this is the first time.
So Mitzi is from the Philippines. As you know, other people might not. I've lived in the Philippines a lot and have a special place in my heart for her and her journey. And watching the two of you get to be meeting in person has been so special. What is it like?
Yeah.
What is it like for you be meeting with others that you've been online with for so long?
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing because we have worked together with a lot of people since, I know, 2 years or so, and maybe we see each other every day because we have meetings every day to work with in like different things. But this is the first time that we actually meet in person and have time to not just talking about the climate crisis, but also about other things and actually, well, live together. And it's really amazing. I really love Mitzi and also the others. And I'm really, really happy because, the activism is not just a bad thing. I mean, it's something that is, well, I know how to explain it in English, but basically, I think that the most important thing of the activism is doing with love, is doing with people that you also love and meeting new people. And I think that's one of the most amazing things of the activism. So I'm really happy to live in this experience.
So Mitzi told me she needs a new coat because she's cold coming from the Philippines. I don't know about you, so don't forget to go shopping.
Yes, it's pretty cool, and also it rains. It rains a lot, but we will survive.
Yes, I lived in Scotland when I was 19, and I know the sun comes out in July.
Yeah, I miss the sun.
Yeah, you're gonna miss it. So just silk underwear.
Yeah, thank you.
But please do get a coat for Mitzi, okay? Because
okay, I will.
When you are on it, you can't be sick, right?
Yeah, true.
Take good care of your health, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we're counting on you guys. We're counting on you guys. So please give her a big hug for us.
Okay, thank you all.
Posting this morning that she was stressed out because she wasn't ready. She was working on a typewriter and trying to get her presentation ready. So she takes it very seriously.
Yeah,
As I
do, and it's difficult to like being working and thinking in the climate crisis all the time, and more like here that we are in person and maybe we don't have like free time or whatever. But well.
So I want to warn you also, when we worked on Martha's Vineyard, we had a lot of young people from Puerto Rico working with us because I lived there in Vieques, and they found that the Scottish accent, people would have a Latin, first language is Latin. It's hard to hear, hard to understand.
Yes, I don't understand them sometimes. It's so hard. Yeah.
And they're speaking English, but it's hard.
Yeah.
So, and Glasgow especially, the West Coast is a stronger accent.
Yeah, it is.
So it's okay. It's okay if you just say, "Can you say that again? Can you speak slowly?"
Yeah.
Okay? Because they may never have met someone who speaks Spanish. Sometimes in Scotland, it's a pretty, maybe in Edinburgh or Aberdeen, there's more international people. So just to let you know, it's normal that it's hard to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
So, do you have a presentation you're giving that you want to just tell us about?
A what? Sorry?
Presentation. Are you making a speech? Are you presenting?
Tomorrow we have a press conference as Friday for Future, and I will be speaking there. But I can't say what I'm going to say tomorrow. You can see tomorrow.
That's important to do for the press. Well, we will be with you. Tell us, one of our questions is, what can we do? What can we do? There's a petition that you, I think, and Mitzi and Greta have all been sharing from Avaz today. So a petition that we can sign. What can people do while you're there on the front lines? What can we do behind the scenes?
I think one of the biggest action that we can do is showing the movement, and not just being part of Friday for Future, but like doing things in a collective, not just an individual.
So being part, for example, of signing this type of petitions or sending emails to the world leaders or posting something in social media, I think that now we have a lot of options, but not doing and nothing is not a choice, because we really, whoever you are, whenever you are, we really need you, because the only way to achieve all the changes that we need to stop the climate crisis is with all the people pushing for the world leaders to take this type of decisions, this type of measures.
I definitely want to answer the question of what we can do. And I think I will agree with Nikki that working together is the best way to bring upon action. I think there's quite a lot of movements, over 1,000 movements, quite a lot of young people who are working from different angles of this movement, and acting in solidarity is going to bring our impact to a larger scale. Can you guys still hear me? Sorry, I think my internet went out.
Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, I would love to just end it with, I think one of the most important I lost of words at this point, but an important goal for me is to work together to bring upon impact.
So Kevin, towards that end of working together, we want to introduce you. He couldn't join the call, but Arshak is coming from Russia. He just got his visa. He's on a plane right now. So I'm going to connect you two on WhatsApp.
Yeah, please. I think he follows me. I think we both follow each other on social media, but we haven't been able. Yeah, I've been connecting with quite a lot of Fridays for Future activists, as well as some other activists. There's just so many movements that are coming out to COP26. So I just definitely want to make sure I'm connecting with everyone.
I totally agree with what Nikki and Kevin said earlier. Like, activism is not just about working on climate change and all, but also I think it is so beautiful to see how it is uniting people, especially the young people. And we are not only working on climate change, right? Like, we are also focusing on different issues of the society, like how it is connected with the society, economy, and so those sort of things. I think that is really beautiful, and it is also placing an example for the generations to come, like how this generation united and acted together. Like, for me, the most important demand would be, like, as I said before, it will be loss and damage for me. And I think it is also related to climate justice. So the second asks from our collective, like, climate justice, I think, like, it is not, we are not just in this time, like, it's not just about reducing the emissions and all, but I think we should prioritize climate justice as a whole, because it is also impacting peoples on different levels. Like, it is impacting economy, society, public health, mental health. It is impacting the underprivileged, marginalized, vulnerable groups differently. So not just about climate change, but prioritizing climate justice in every thing. Yes, that would be my most important ask for COP26.
Perfect. And then just with one quick follow-up. So obviously, when it comes to being active in social media and petitions, that's important. But how can we as a global organization assist in the fight against climate change locally in our own communities? What would you recommend for all of us here listening and, the other youth that we work with?
Yes, I think there is difference between global South and global North, and also how we see things. For example, like many of us in the global South may see people in all the global, all of the people in the global North as bad, because they are the one who has the historical emission. But it's not just about the people, but it is the companies, 100 companies are just creating lots of emissions and pollutions in these things. So I think we should understand this difference. And if people and organizations in the global South wants to support the people in the most affected region and area, I think they should create a space, not just talking on our behalf, not just talking on my behalf, not just talking on behalf of Nepal, but just inviting someone from Nepal to speak, just opening and giving the space to speak them out, so that they will express what they are seeing, not just from others' mouth, but from their own original things. Yes. That would be the most important thing, that you people can support us. Hello world, my name is Shreya Casey. I work as network coordinator at Nepalese Youth for Climate Action (YCA) based in Lalitpur, Nepal. When it comes to tackling climate crisis, we need everyone to contribute their part, no matter what it is. We need everyone to be brought together at the table, no matter who they are and where they belong from. And that is why I'm challenging you to educate someone about climate crisis, be it in your friends, family, neighbor, and share in the social media with the hashtag #StoneSoupChallenge. And don't forget to tag your friends.
I think it's great, and it's always been good. Obviously, I've been working with the Institute for 10 years, so there's something about it that I like, obviously. But I think it's great to just see the development of confidence in hearing young people talk. From the point when I started, it was bringing up small ideas, but it was really localized thinking, and not as many young individuals were taking action, I would say, in 2015 as it pertained to the climate crisis and sustainability. And I think that seeing all the activism and carrying and making changes now is really important, is what I like to see most in the Institute, and seeing all these young individuals take it upon themselves to not just talk about change, but make change has been the greatest thing for me.
Yeah, I just wanted to say how exciting and how honored I am to be here today, especially in person with Marianne, Chris, and everyone else who's here. And I'm just very grateful that I get an opportunity to be a part of this community.
Similarly, I'm also just very grateful to be here. I just moved from the East Coast, and it's nice to sort of see friendly faces with Marianne and Trevor, and just sort of the friendly sort of environment of being around people who are just dedicating a lot of their time and energy to something really important. And I'm honestly just really excited and just excited for all of you that are actually going to be going. And I also hope on the side, maybe, if it be possible, maybe through Marianne, to get some contact information for people. I'd love to get in contact and sort of hear, maybe more updates as time goes on, for those of you who will be at the event. Yeah.